The Palazzo Ducale were bought by an intermediary, a middleman, after the death of the artist from his estate, and then brought to the great Cardinal Domenico Grimani, one of the great collectors, great early collectors of the Renaissance, who collected both classical antiquity and Flemish painting. They were typically the sort of paintings that appealed to him, because they had lots of monsters and they had lots of spectacular, dramatic fires, and that's what they loved in Italy.
The first stage of this journey will be by boat. It's rare to see such priceless paintings transported like this, but in Venice there's no alternative. The 4 panels by Bosch, wedged into their air-conditioned flight cases to ensure constant temperature and humidity, return temporarily to the north. Today they're travelling in the opposite direction, because it is probably from Bosch's native city that they left for Venice 5 centuries ago.
Bosch is net als Kafka een van de weinigen die het tot op bijvoeglijk naamwoord gebracht heeft. Ik bedoel, je kunt zeggen dat een situatie Kafkaiaans is. Zo kun je in beschrijvingen van horrorfilms tegenkomen dat een bloederige, gruwelijke scène Bossiaans is. Dat mag geheel en al ten onrechte zijn, maar het is toch wel het beeld wat de meeste mensen bij Jeroen Bosch hebben. Inderdaad, de schilder van monsters en duivels.
In its permanent collection, the Boijmans van Beuningen Museum in Rotterdam has a small number of paintings by or after Hieronymus Bosch. The current director, Chris Durkin, wanted to organize a major retrospective devoted to the painter, featuring the artist's original panels, copies, and contemporary works of art.
When we started to investigate if we could at all do this exhibition in terms of, for instance, transportation and safety of the paintings, in the beginning there was still this hesitation of you don't transport panels. But in the course of, you saw the changes already in the sense that, you know, new techniques are being developed, crates are getting better, things are more secure. This exhibition is not only education for the public, it's also, I think, a laboratory for the scholars. And that's one of the reasons also why lenders, at least some lenders, and I think very important lenders, were quite eager to work with. Because these things are coming together, and these things, you know, get to be shown and can be studied together. And you can jump from one to the next, as it were, which you will never could do with reproductions. I mean, this physical presence is actually so important.
Hieronymus van Aken was probably born in 's-Hertogenbosch, which lies about 80 kilometers from Rotterdam, into a family of painters of German origin. At that time, some 40 or so churches, chapels and monasteries flourished in his native city. The family home and the workshop, the Sint-Teunishuis, was bought by his father in 1462. It clearly figures on this painting, the Schirmer's Revolt, painted at the beginning of the 17th century. Today it's a souvenir shop, De Kleine Winst, the small profit. On the northern side of the marketplace stands the house in Den Salvator, where from 1481 onwards Bosch lived with his wife Aleet. Today the ground floor has become a shoe shop.
Dat mysterie van Bosch is natuurlijk heel interessant, want ja, het maakt het mogelijk om een mythe rond de man te creëren. Maar als je werkelijk afgaat op de archiefgegevens die over hem bewaard zijn gebleven, dat zijn er enkele tientallen, dan constateer je eigenlijk dat het een hele brave burger was van 's Bosch. Dat hij geen extreme dingen deed. Dat hij een heel oppassende man was die heel zorgvuldig met zijn vermogen en dat van zijn vrouw omging. Dus ik denk dat de waarheid wel eens wat minder extreem zou kunnen zijn dan de schilderijen van de man doen vermoeden.
In the basement of the city archives of 's Bosch is a section entitled the Bosch Protocol. Conserved here are many of the notarial records concerning the painter's life, which appear under the name of Van Aken or his first name, Jeroen. But what do these carefully preserved documents actually tell us?
Eigenlijk niet meer dan dat hij getuige is geweest bij verkopingen van panden die in het bezit waren van de familie Bosch. Dat hij dus ook lid was van die familie, hoe de familie enigszins in elkaar zat. Daar wordt ook in verteld dat hij overleden is, althans zeker in het archief van de Illustratieve Vrouwenbroederschap. En dat is eigenlijk zo'n beetje alles. Meer kun je er niet uithalen, hooguit wanneer je wat gaat verbinden met elkaar en daar conclusies uit kunt trekken.
On June the 13th in the year 1463, the city of 's Bosch burns. The fire is due to the negligence of a dyer in the house called the Cauldron in Dyer's Street. It quickly spreads to the neighbouring wooden houses and the town hall, whose library and archives are destroyed. Almost 4,000 houses are reduced to ashes. Personal effects, livestock and many people also perish in the flames. If the young Van Aken witnessed this spectacle, it could not have left him indifferent. Iceland, land of ice and fire. For the Christian world, with its heaven on high and hell down below, volcanoes were the tangible proof of the existence of a subterranean hell, peopled with monsters of all sorts. On ancient maps, Hekla, the largest and most dangerous volcano on the island, figures as the gate of hell, and the way to the crater is appropriately called the Trail of the Damned.
Il y a des écrits dès le XIIe siècle qui parlent de ce volcan, qui relatent probablement cette éruption monstrueuse de 1104 en expliquant que c'est vraiment l'effroi total et les cendres du volcan vont se répandre partout, en Europe, en Asie et partout sur la planète, et on s'en méfie beaucoup. Oui, il y a quelque chose de Boschien en Islande, toutes ces croyances populaires, tous ces monstres, toutes ces différentes créatures. Il n'y en a pas seulement dans l'air, il y en a dans l'eau, il y en a qui ont le pouvoir de se transformer, il y a des métamorphoses, etc., etc. Et il y a des rayonnages entiers de bibliothèques qui parlent de ça, et on est bercé dès le plus jeune âge ici par ces légendes, ces croyances et toute cette superstition.
The triptych of the Temptation of St. Anthony is based on the life of the saint as related in the Golden Legend by Jacques de Voragine. On the left-hand wing, Anthony, tormented by demons, is rescued and borne up by his fellow hermits. Tossed high into the air, he is again besieged by the forces of evil. On the right-hand panel, Satan tempts the saint by taking on the most appealing of forms. Anthony remains impassive. He's invited to a diabolical banquet at which one of the human pillars of the table has caught his foot in a jug, an allusion to the sexual act.